Hey guys, red and black, greetings. This is Flamengo. Welcome to the Paparazzo Rubro Negro channel. If you're just joining us, I invite you to follow, like, and share on all platforms. If you're on YouTube, I invite you to subscribe down below, turn on the bell notification, and leave a like on the other video. Give us that support. Give us that support. I'm kindly asking you to subscribe to the channel. If you follow us and you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. Give us that support, okay? We're here thanks to the support of Haroldo's Caravan, so you can secure your spot at Flamengo's games with Haroldo's Caravan, with the ticket included for games in Rio de Janeiro. And man, it's a really serious company for you to make sure you're at the Libertadores, Copa do Brasil, and Brasileirão games, all with Haroldo's Caravan. Look, we're here. I also want to thank the folks from an H here in Orlando. Man, the steakhouse I went to today near my house was amazing, really good, spectacular. I had some lamb, man, it was fantastic. Man, we tried some amazing cuts there. I'm really grateful. Man, the chocolate fountain was fantastic too. Look, it was pure luxury. Man, real luxury, right? Just imagine the kids at the chocolate fountain. Look, I'm telling you, I was amazed, okay? So, if you're in Orlando and you don't know it yet, remember this name, an H here in Orlando, okay? So you can enjoy it, right? And look at this, I found it. Look at the chocolate fountain, man, chocolate fountain. Just look, what a spectacle, a real show. The steakhouse has the all-you-can-eat, and on top of that, a chocolate fountain with marshmallows and strawberries. Man, seriously, an H, go there, you won't regret it. Well, let's go. I want to bring this up here, man. It's unbelievable, right? Flamengo has another absence in the midfield. We already know that. That's why we're also totally against this synthetic turf thing. We're also going to talk about Rodrigo, Caio, talking about Felipe Luiz's dismissal. He shared some behind-the-scenes details about Felipe Luiz's dismissal. We're going to go over Flamengo's likely lineup, the squad list, and everything else. And we're also going to talk about Matheus Gonçalves, right, who became a champion, right, and left Flamengo to become a champion. That's it. We're here. So right away, here's Flamengo's squad list. Look, Alexandro. Players traveling to Minas Gerais to face Atlético Mineiro: Alexandro, Andrio, Ayrton, Lucas, Bruno Henrique, Danilo, de Arrascaeta, Diogo Alves, Emerson Royal, Everton Cebolinha, Everton Araújo, Guilherme Varela, Jorginho, Luiz Araújo, Léo Ortiz, Léo Pereira, Luiz Felipe, Pedro, Plata, Rossi, Samuel Lino, Saul, Vitão, and Alácia. So we had Eric Pulgar, information from Flamengo, right? Flamengo's medical report. The midfielder Eric Pulgar is working on the field with physical therapy and fitness training. De La Cruz, the player, was not included for this Sunday's match because of the synthetic turf at Arena MRV. The midfielder trained in the morning at City Jorge Helal. But because of the synthetic turf, De La Cruz, who has even played at high altitude this year and all, sometimes plays on synthetic turf. But this time they decided to avoid having him travel since Jorginho is available. Lucas Paquetá, the player, is following the recovery schedule set by Flamengo's medical department, okay? So, Eric Pulgar is already working on the field. That's good news. Pulgar is already working on the field. And Lucas Paquetá is following the recovery schedule set by the medical department. It's not known if he'll be able to play, if there's enough time for him to play in Wednesday's game against Estudiantes de La Plata in Argentina. I'll be at the game against Estudiantes in Argentina, rooting for the team. Hopefully Paquetá recovers in time. But we should have Eric Pulgar back and De La Cruz available for the game in Argentina. And Jorginho, who just came back and should play as a starter in this Sunday's match against Atletico. So we're bringing you this information. Flamengo has another absence in midfield, but they're getting Jorginho back, who just returned. Still, it's an important absence since Nicolas de la Cruz has been playing very well. Look, let me bring you the information about Flamengo's probable lineup, okay? Flamengo should take the field with Rossi, Varela, Leo Ortiz, Leo Pereira, Alexandro, Everton Araujo, Jorginho, Arrascaeta, Bruno Henrique, Gonçalo, Plata, and Pedro, okay? So Flamengo will probably have Rossi, Varela, Leo Ortiz, Leo Pereira, Alexandro, Everton Araujo, Jorginho, Arrascaeta, Bruno Henrique, Plata, and Pedro. I really like this lineup, okay? Flavolado commented, that being said, 4-0 Flamengo. I think that's a big score, but I believe in a 2-0 or 3-0 win for Flamengo, especially because Flamengo plays really well there. Even when they lost the first game in the Copa do Brasil, they bounced back there, right? They lost on penalties, but they bounced back there. Flamengo usually does well there at Arena Galo Sego. Look, o Miranda Senticin, this is really an 80% starting lineup. Pulgar is missing a defensive midfielder. Paquetá on the left, not on the left, actually playing as a second defensive midfielder, but it's great. People say it's the best, but we missed our share of Pulgar and Paquetá too. Robinho Senticin, this is the lineup. Only Luis Henrique is missing. Luis Henrique, we've already explained here. Zenit is asking for too much, 50 million euros. Flamengo won't pay that, and it's not even worth it, right? The player is very good, but he's not worth paying that much. I showed you the numbers. It's not to put the player down, but he's a very good player. His numbers aren't impressive. He's good, but not worth 50 million euros. In Europe, they might think he's worth it, but for me, I think 50 million euros is absurd. BH showing up in that role there, much better than Lino. Let's not underestimate Lino either, but BH is really a specialist there. He plays really well in that position. Man, Formiga had to say it's among the top 10 in the world, that this formation is amazing, okay? Trust this formation. Federal Associados is sending it out there. Felipe Ricardo, where's Saul? Saul is a substitute on this team, all right, man? Even with this team missing some midfield players, Carlos Henrique de Souza, full strength, almost, right? Almost full strength. Yeah, Fortunato Luis, that's it. Plata or Lino, not both together, okay? So people really like this possible Flamengo lineup, right? Everyone is really praising this formation. And it's worth mentioning that Gonzalo Plata is returning to Arena MRV, the Gonzalo Plata Arena, Blind Rooster Arena, trying to bounce back at Flamengo, right? He's not at his best right now, but he's on the rise, right? The Ecuadorian is trying to regain his place after off-field problems. Leonardo Jardim has been giving him opportunities, more minutes on the field. The situation is symbolic. It was precisely at Arena Galo Sego that Plata shined in the 2024 Copa do Brasil final, scoring the goal that secured the title. Now, as a Flamengo player on the same stage, he can turn that memory into a new beginning. Is that right? I really believe in Gonzalo Plata's recovery. And we had, man, Matheus Gonçalves doing the kangaroo dance. Look, kangaroo dance for Matheus Gonçalves. There you go, champion. Hello. Alvarez, how do you do it? That academy kid under Leonardo Jardim, man. With Leonardo Jardim, this guy would take off, man. He would play so well. This kid is really good. With Jardim, he'd play unbelievably well, man. Flamengo missed their chance, man. Look over there. Didn't take advantage. Spectacular, man. So here's the update on Matheus Gonçalves. Look at that. Congratulate him. I just didn't like the green shirt, you know? Green doesn't really work, but it's fine. By the way, I heard, man, that they're offering a bonus. I'll talk about that. Leila Pereira's desperation, right? Look, midfielder Matheus Gonçalves, a Flamengo youth product, won the AFC Champions League Elite with Al Ali. The player celebrated the title and made a statement. The interview they sent us here, this is a very special moment in my career. Winning a major competition like the Asian Champions League in my first year at the club is something I'll remember forever. I worked hard for this moment, and I'm happy to be able to contribute on the field to another important achievement. Sharing this with my teammates and with the Al Ali fans makes it even more special. Man, the kid is on fire, and I used to say, right, he just needed space, give him time. You have to give him time. Look at Everton Araujo there. They gave him minutes, they gave him time, and now he's playing really well, okay? In the title campaign, Matheus Gonçalves played 9 matches, scored 2 goals, and provided 2 assists for his teammates. Better numbers than Luis Henrique. Yeah, I showed you today. Luis Henrique has 30%. Matheus Gonçalves, almost 50% of the time he plays, he either scores or assists. In other words, out of 9 games, he had a direct involvement in a goal in 4 of them. It's surreal. So 9 games, he scored 2 goals and provided 2 assists, and he has a lot of room to grow and is very young. People are commenting here. Amazing. Congratulations, champion. Hey, look here. Even without getting on the field, no, man, look, let me say something. He played in a lot of games. I just said that here. Congratulations. I never doubted this kid's ability to play really well. He's going to go far. He's going to Uva and Eleven Alves. Pietro Luis, sign him. He plays really well. It's no use now. Sign him now. After he was sold, if Leonardo Jardim had coached him, he would have excelled. Terezinha JM, congratulations, kid. People mention Flamengo. Just check the youth academy. Rian Roberto Guilherme. Rian Roberto will leave soon, man. At this rate, he'll be gone. Okay? People here are saying we're really going to lose Rian Roberto. It's Dernival Pereira. The problem with Flamengo is that they don't give opportunities to the young players from the academy. He even had a chance, but not enough minutes to shine, right? Matheus Gonçalves really lacked opportunities there and patience with Matheus Gonçalves because he's very talented. Yeah. Rodrigo Caio, in an interview with the Nielsen Show channel, talked about how he received the news of coach Felipe Luiz's dismissal at Flamengo. I got home, I was with our fitness coach, and he said, we just got let go. I said, all right. I went home, sat down. It was a little after 1 a.m, picked up the phone, called Felipe, and he said, we were let go. So, all right, let's move on. Life goes on. Your work was well done. And I'll leave too, he said. It's your decision. I called you just to ask how you are and just to tell you. But like, Felipe never promised me anything. I have nothing to do with Felipe. We're just friends. If he calls me, I'll think about it, like I always did. But I already called, got the phone. They told us to show up at 9 a.m. I asked, what time is Felipe going? 3? So I'll go at 3, but I'll leave with Felipe. I talked to the president before leaving. Any news? I called the president. I thanked him because the president was a very important guy for me. Besides giving his approval, even though I have a history at the club, it's a huge responsibility to put someone in there and have it go through him. When I arrived, he made a point of going to the locker room. Listen to this cool Bape story he's telling. There's no crisis. He's just sharing behind the scenes stories about his experience and how Bape treated him. He rarely interacts like this, believing the locker room is for athletes. Check out this cool Bape reveal. That's nice. He made a point to go there, greet me, and welcome me. Really cool. I truly felt at home. You know when you just feel good? I'm not here just because of my story. I'm here because of who I am. And that was amazing for me. It gave me even more confidence to grow in this job. I made a point of calling him. I thanked him. He asked me to stay, and I said, President, my word comes first. I told Felipe that I came with him and I would leave with him, but I want to leave the doors open. Rodrigo Caio revealed that he told Bape that at this moment he was leaving together with Felipe, but he wanted to leave the doors open. Cool. So the guy makes it clear that he wants to work at Flamengo again. Man, a really cool story about Rodrigo Caio, about Flamengo, about Rodrigo and everything else. I even saw a lot of people talking about that topic, like who played better, Flamengo in 2019 or Neymar Santos. And actually, in those polls, Flamengo's 2019 team has been winning. So honestly, I think Jorge Jesus' Flamengo side from 2019 played much better. Man, the information that's coming out that I've been seeing, a lot of Palmeiras fans are even making jokes like that old almost taunt is coming back, right? Almost in 2026. Almost what, man? First of all, before I talk about this, what almost? Flamengo is the century's biggest champion and the only 4-time champion of the Americas. Oh, you guys might win, you might tie, but what almost? Palmeiras hasn't beaten Flamengo at Maracanã for 9 years and in the Brazilian League for 8 years, or is it the other way around? What almost, man? You won in the Libertadores due to our players' rare mistake, even though you guys are usually our regular victims there. Almost what? Almost a title? Flamengo is the century's top champion. How do you guys still have the nerve to keep saying that old almost taunt is coming back? Almost what, my friend? Where else do you have a club that in 7 years made it to 4 Libertadores finals and won 3? Won 3 Brazilian championships. Won 3 Copa do Brasil titles. 3 Super Cups. Won a Recopa. In 7 years, Flamengo won 5 Cariocas. Almost what, my friend? Smell of winning the Derby of the Americas, winning the Challenger Cup, winning the Florida Cup, nothing but international titles. I want to understand this. Smell of what? You guys are ridiculous. No Club World Cup, relegated twice, and no Club World Cup. And I'm going to say something here, okay? Here's an interesting point. Flamengo in these last 7 years, from 2017 until now, from 2019 until now. Look, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. We're in 26. That's 8 years, but let's say 7 years, okay? From 2019 to 2025, Flamengo faced European teams, big European teams, 6 times. Ajax, Frankfurt, Florida Cup. Flamengo beat Ajax, or no, it was Frankfurt they beat and Ajax they drew with, right? Or vice versa. They drew with one and beat the other, and then they won the championship on penalties. So 1 win and 1 draw against European teams. Then Flamengo lost to Liverpool in extra time, so that's a draw. The game was lost in extra time. A draw with Liverpool, okay? It went to extra time. Yeah. 3 games, 2 draws, 1 win against major European teams. Flamengo faced Chelsea. Flamengo and Chelsea, right? Because in the other Club World Cup, Flamengo faced Al Hilal. I'm not talking about Europeans. Flamengo beat Chelsea 3-1, dominating the match and putting on a show. It could have been 4 or 5 goals. So 2 wins, 2 draws. Look at that. 4 games against Europeans, 2 wins, 2 draws. Then Flamengo loses to Bayern and Flamengo draws with PSG. That one went to penalties, but what matters is the result in regular time. If you're talking about who became champion, mention the penalties, but the game ended in a draw. So Flamengo has 2 wins against European teams, 3 actually. 3 empates, 2 wins, 3 draws, and only 1 loss. Flamengo is ahead of the European team since 2019. And what do you want to say about Flamengo, man? Your team can't even beat European teams. Your team can't even beat European teams. Tell me about it from 2019 onwards, too. You guys won 2 Libertadores and reached 3 finals. If you beat any European teams in those Club World Cups, fine. But did you? What are you bragging about? Learn from it. And now here's the information. Leila Pereira made an internal promise to increase the bonus, to triple the bonus. Palmeiras fans are saying that she tripled the bonus and now the Cheirinho is coming back, that they're going to win because Leila Pereira tripled the bonus. She learned how to play the game. That's total desperation. She's desperate. She's afraid of losing to Flamengo again. She can't stand losing to Flamengo. And especially, it's not just Flamengo. She can't stand losing to BAP. She has a serious problem with BAP. Her issue is fighting. She wants to prove she's better than BAP. Often, people who worry too much about others end up neglecting themselves. That's the real problem. That's it, okay? So you guys worry too much about Flamengo. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications by clicking the bell, and leave a like on the video. Greetings, red and black fans. This is Flamengo. Thanks.